orange, and Osceola. Let's get you straight to certified meteorologist once again, Brian Shields in Severe Weather Center 9.
Yeah, and with that, I want to also get to the flash flood emergency we have ongoing. Of course, we have all this flooding in many spots. Here's Doppler 9, and we have just an array of warnings out right now. A big area with the flash flood warnings in place. There is a little pocket here in Seminole County that is a major concern. Zooming down here, and Alexa, if you don't mind taking a look at this so you could kind of focus, take a look at some roads. I know you're the best we have with mapping and everything. So this is Altamont Springs 434 here. Here's I-4. The Little Wekiva runs through here. So in this section here, and this stretches all the way up to Heathrow, parts of Altamont Springs, Clips, Maitland here in Forest City. This is very important. And in this area here, they're asking people to seek higher ground if you are right along that river. So as we work our way, here's Sand Lake Road, again, a different Sand Lake Road. Here's Forest City, Bear Lake here, and then just off as you get toward I-4. So Douglas Ave running through here, Markham Woods up there. So again, this spot here, if you're along the Little Wekiva River, it is a flash flood emergency, and they want you to seek higher ground immediately. So this is that sector there. And Alexa, when you get any landmarks by Annunciation Catholic, I know they're just from taking my kids to play games there. Again, this, and it does stretch up toward Heathrow. Not all of Heathrow, obviously, but again, here is Markham Woods Road that kind of runs along it, the river being on the west side. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, in this area here, any homes, and we do have a few businesses here, so off to the west of I-4 in this sector, that is a flash flood emergency, not something we often get. And the river itself is going to be at record stage in just 2 hours. We already have it overtopped, already have that flooding in the basin. We're concerned that this will be very widespread in this area. So heads up there as far as that is concerned. All right, the broader picture showing you this, letting you know what's going on. The center of Ian, it's now a tropical storm, is here. The heavy weather working in. Rusty and I have been watching that camera in Daytona Beach, and Rusty, we have some of the heaviest weather that's just to the south, and you see it here. So moving from New Smyrna Beach and then moving right into Ponce Inlet, Wilbur by the Sea. We're going to see very heavy weather moving in, and that's Daytona Beach shores. The Sunglow Pier that was rocked with Hurricane Matthew. This pocket's moving in, but it stretches all the way back still across Altamont Springs, Lake Mary, Heathrow, Castleberry, Winter Springs, and in this we get the howling winds, 40, 50 miles per hour down through Orlando. And while in Kissimmee, some of the rain has lessened, it is still coming down. And again, working over toward DeBary, Deltona, and Osteen, that really heavy rain. And you see these totals now stacking up back into Orlando, upwards of about 14 inches of rain with that flooding, and where that flash flooding emergency is, some spots already over 13 inches of rain. And in that flash flood emergency, we could get an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain. So even if we didn't get that, we're going to get to record stage there and higher. So again, that's why that flash flood emergency is in place, but there's going to be an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain. Live speeds on the winds, about 30, 40 miles per hour for a lot of us. Not as much in our western zones. Marion, Sumter, always have my eye on you. But again, this is mainly Daytona Beach dropping off to 56 now, kind of waiting on that next rain band to work in. So 8 this morning, heaviest core Flagler and Volusia. But even as that rain starts to kick off for many of us, all that water is still filtering into the basin. So we're going to hit record stage this morning and through the afternoon for many of our rivers as we go through the day, watching that urban flooding that we're seeing. And we talked about that the last few days. Different spots you don't always expect to get flooding will get flooding in this. By 6 o'clock, a lot of this action will be working off. So again, as we go throughout the day, heavy rain this morning, of course, the river flooding a major concern, and then in the urban flooding, and then watching out for some branches that could be broken as we go throughout the day. But that flash flood emergency is in effect. We've got flood warnings all over the place. Yeah, what do we have there? Let me jump back.
You can kind of see that rain really coming down.